All right, we had some technical difficulties. I got kicked out.
Welcome to part 2.
Sorry about that. I'll
It's the
figure
most I got to talk on the podcast ever.
Rob's like, I'm starting my own podcast.
And then Rob had to go and start talking about Hawkeye being better than Boba Fett. I'm like, okay, now you got to shut up, motherfucker. You're done. Pulling the plug.
I knew that would get his attention.
Well, we got our weekly viewings out of the way, so now we can talk about the comic. That was kind of perfect timing.
All right.
Unless you have more to talk about Boba Fett.
No, Rob's right though. The Boba Fett's just not good. I can't defend it. I want it to be better than it is. It's not. I don't think it's as bad as Hawkeye because at least it's about Boba Fett. Like at least he's in his own show, so that's appreciated.
I forget about that.
Like that's a big deal for me. All right, so this week's comic.
Wait a minute before we go on. So is Boba Fett getting to be? I don't think it is, but I'm going to pose this question: is Boba Fett getting to be as bad as the Matrix was for Steve, as far as disappointment?
Yeah, it's so far. I haven't finished it, so
not for me.
Until I see the end, it's very disappointing as of right now. It's
I don't know. Steve, I've never felt so bad for you after I watched that
movie. Boba Fett's a fucking give it an Oscar nod compared to the last Matrix movie. I still can't watch it.
After I got done watching that Matrix movie, I was like, "Oh, poor Steve." Felt so bad for you, man.
Yeah, I'm still
empathy.
I'm still in mourning. It's been like a month now. I still can't get over it. Dude.
Have you rewatched it yet?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
My friend sends me the finale every 3 days.
That guy's great.
That guy's great.
I love that guy. The guy's a hoot. Keep him around.
Finale. What's that?
Where he's like, you want to fly, Johnny?
You know what? I actually, before we get to Hawkeye and Deadpool, hopefully we don't have any more issues. But I started watching that Cobra Kai.
Really?
Was it good? Everybody says it's good.
It's entertaining. It's by the guy who wrote the first 3 movies, created the characters and everything. So. I mean, it's definitely a nostalgia factor. It's better than the movies, but it's still not great. It still relies on very common tropes, almost like sitcom-y type tropes. The misunderstanding. Somebody shows up at dinner and sees somebody else and they assume the worst and never says why. You know what I mean? There's never the conversation hey, who's that guy? You know what I mean? It's got those tropes to it. But it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's lightweight fun. The fights are definitely better than the original movies. I rewatched. I was never huge into Karate Kid partially because I couldn't see it till years later. I saw it probably by I don't know, after all 3 movies were out was when I saw the first movie, which I liked. And I rewatched the second movie after watching a few episodes of Cobra Kai because I'm like, am I supposed to recognize these people? So I rewatched Karate Kid Part 2. Man, that movie sucks. Dude, it just goes on forever.
Isn't that the one where Mr. Miyagi gets trashed on rice wine?
I don't even remember.
Because he's thinking about his dead wife?
No, I think that must be the third one. Because this one, they went to Japan, and some dude keeps trying to fight Miyagi, and he doesn't want to fight, so they keep trashing his garden. And then the choreography in the last fight scene, the Karate Kid fight scene is just get the fuck out of here. It's so terrible. And I don't know that I've ever seen the third one. The more I think about it, I don't think I've seen the third one. And so I want to watch it just to, again, learn who the characters are.
That's the one with the girl.
There's a girl in every single one.
No, she's the lead character.
The lead.
It's
which girl?
It's the actress with the funny teeth.
Actress with? You're thinking of the fourth movie with Hilary Swank?
Hilary Swank.
That's the fourth one.
Yeah, you're thinking of the next Karate Kid. I haven't seen that either, but Karate Kid Part 3 exists with the original characters.
I can't believe you got that from what I said. You so speak, Bob.
Hilary Swank has bad teeth.
Is it Hilary Swank? Is that her name?
I thought you were gonna. Exactly I was like, Jewel was in a movie. I don't remember.
He so got it.
There's only 4 movies. How hard could it
be? But so yeah, I do want to watch the third one at some point. Just I don't know. I'm going to put myself through it because I do like the show. It's nothing. I'm like I still haven't even finished season 1, so it's not something that's really grabbing me. But it's nice when I'm having trouble sleeping, and I need something I only need to half pay attention to.
So you do recommend it, or you
do? You already have something like that, Boba Fett.
All right, I got to boot Rob. No.
Deleted.
I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I think more people would have a higher opinion of it than I do. And it is fun. It's way faster paced than the movies. Thank fucking God. And I should say the lead, Johnny, whatever his name is, the evil Cobra Kai guy from the first movie. He's pretty funny because he's just, he kind of similar to Peacemaker. He's not at all PC in how he talks to people and everything. So there's some really funny shit going on. And then the way he tells the story of the first movie is pretty funny from his perspective, where Danny LaRusso is the bad guy is pretty funny. So it's not bad.
Is Ralph Macchio still doing crane kicks or what? What's the deal?
I haven't seen him do a crane kick. No, thank God. But so yeah, but it's not bad at all. I think you would enjoy it. I think you'd like it a lot, actually. I think obviously Karate Kid fans will appreciate it the most. But it's some fun, like popcorn entertainment, though.
So name one other movie besides My Cousin Vinny that you saw Ralph Macchio in.
I don't think I've seen him in anything else. I know he was in a movie called The Outsiders, and that's how he got Karate Kid. I've never seen The Outsiders, though.
After Karate Kid.
After Karate Kid.
Karate Kid 2.
Oh, I don't know if it was after Karate Kid or not. Crossroads. Where he's it's that whole
the
went down to Georgia kind of thing.
I don't know if I think that was after.
It was probably after the first Karate Kid.
Wasn't a big hit though.
But I just remember because Steve Vai played the guitar. He played the devil and he played all the guitar parts for both characters. So I remember I watched that on some Cinemax HBO like 100 years ago, and it was goofy then. So I imagine it's even goofier now.
It was on TNT the other day.
That was the one you were talking about, Rob? That was it?
I couldn't name one. I didn't know one.
I thought you had one in mind. I was like, what is it?
No. So the only one I could think of was My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
I do remember him in that movie, though.
Yeah.
After Sean brought it up. But it wasn't like a big hit.
No. It didn't deserve to be either. But it's a goofy 80s movie. All right. So Hawkeye versus Deadpool, written by Jerry Duggan. First issue is artist is Matteo Lolli. This is a Hawkeye. This is post Matt Rosenberg's Hawkeye, the 2012 series. So we're getting like the more modern kind of Hawkeye that we liked a lot. It's not like the superhero Hawkeye, which is great. So this whole story is about a guy who drops off a flash drive on Halloween, tries to give it to Hawkeye, ends up giving it to Deadpool because everybody's upset at Hawkeye because they thought he was giving out full-size candy bars for Halloween, but he is not. And everybody keeps ragging on him about it.
They're fun size.
They're fun size. This is a very fun little series. And then you have like these like brainwashed copycat heroes. Black Cat is like a villain in it. It's just fun. Jerry Duggan, it was one of the writers on the Deadpool series that I liked, or a couple of the Deadpool series I like. He wrote that one that we covered, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. If you guys remember that, I'm trying to find this one line that had me cracking up, and I've already lost it.
I fucking love Jerry Duggan. Like, I really enjoyed this comic.
So this whole exchange where, so the guy that's trying to drop off this little flash drive ends up getting killed outside Hawkeye's apartment building. Hawkeye and Deadpool pursue. Deadpool is trick-or-treating with his daughter, end up at Hawkeye's apartment, and then this guy gets killed. Hawkeye feels bad. They go outside, and there's a kid talking to Hawkeye who's dressed up like Spider-Man, and he's got his little bag of candy, and he's like, hey, do you have any more of those full-size candy bars? And Deadpool's standing behind him, and he says, no, that's what caused all this violence, kid. Now get out of here. And like the idea that Deadpool thinks that this guy's dead because Hawkeye is no longer giving away full-size candy bars. It just cracked me up. That was one of the many funny lines in this. But that one especially.
Dude, the banter between Hawkeye and Deadpool in this was just classic. It was so funny. There were so many good lines, like the one he mentioned. It's great. And then Kate Bishop comes in at some point because, Kate's everywhere. So she comes in and she ends up hating Deadpool. And then throughout the series, like, he just grows on you, and she's like, I love this guy. And you get to see her go from one end of the spectrum to the other was pretty cool. And Kate's not annoying at all in this comic, I don't think. What did you guys think?
No, again, she's only annoying on the show. She's not annoying in the comics. They took a good character and made it, made her into a fucking Full House cast member, basically, who's also a superhero.
Yeah, in the beginning, like, they find out that guy has the drive that can give away all the people that work for the government, and including SHIELD operatives. So they obviously want to, get that back, and they go to team up, and immediately Deadpool just tries to knock out Hawkeye. They get in a fight, and Hawkeye's like, "Ow, what the fuck?" And he's like, "My bad. I thought that punch would have knocked you out. I was going to do this thing by myself."
He's like, no offense, but I thought that was going to knock you out.
right. So they end up just helping each other throughout the series, and it is fucking classic, man. Fucking great.
I like the part too where the police show up, the detectives show up, and Deadpool's been shot, and his body, heals and recovers. So the bullet shells come out, and the cops are like, well, can you give us the other shell? He's like, sure, but I won't know if that's from this shooting. It might be from it. Like, do you get shot that much? He's like, the only person who gets shot more than me is 50 Cent. So
he's like, geez, you get shot that much?
Yeah. Dude, okay. And then first issue, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but in that Hawkeye run, there's an issue where it's just told from the dog's perspective. I don't know if you read that.
Oh, yeah. And Deadpool gets fucking pissed.
Well, yeah, they do it in this issue. They refer back to that. They have this whole sequence where the dog, it's like, there's no words. It's just arrows and pictures. And Deadpool's like, oh, what the fuck, man? Is the dog going to solve the crime? Like, what's happening? What does he say here? He says, what the hell is going on? It's taking forever. Are we waiting for the dog to solve this crime? I don't understand what's happening.
Dude, then Hawkeye ends up getting brainwashed again.
Classic Hawkeye.
That was the whole thing. They had Black Cat had some doctor that was brainwashing all these people from the insane asylum and putting them in Marvel heroes outfits like Daredevil, and Punisher was one, wasn't it? And there was some other,
Captain America. I think they were all there.
Yeah.
I am a patriot.
I am a patriot.
And they would say that every time they killed. So yeah, I was like, oh, Hawkeye's getting brainwashed. It happened. Did you guys see that coming? Did you see him getting brainwashed?
No.
I did watch Avengers. I should have saw it coming.
Black Cat even mentioned it earlier on. I didn't notice it on the first read, but she basically said, we're sending the doctor to brainwash him. Not like that, but in certain terms, she said it. And I was like, how did I not catch that?
Yeah.
I did not catch it.
So did you guys catch? All right, Rob, I don't know. Steve wouldn't catch this, but there is a SHIELD agent named Scott Adsit. And Scott Adsit is a real person. He is an actor on 30 Rock. He plays Pete Hornberger on 30 Rock. And the reason he is a SHIELD agent in the Deadpool universe is because Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan are good friends with him. So when they started writing Deadpool, in like 2013, they created a SHIELD agent named Scott Adsit, who looks like Scott Adsit from 30 Rock.
Yeah, he's bald and he's got a mustache.
Man,
no mustache.
Dude, I was like, this guy looks familiar. That's funny. Was he in the first season? Did you say?
He's in every season, yeah.
Okay. Well, because I did watch almost all the first season, so.
Yeah, he's
maybe that's how I was.
Hornberger. He's one of my favorite characters on this show. Like, this is going to be wasted without having seen the episode and without context. But there's an episode at 30 Rock, and like his kid calls in or like his wife calls while he's at work to put the kid on because he like won't use the potty or something. It's like potty training. And so he has to talk to his kid in an Elmo voice. He's like, Elmo need you to go to the potty. And then I'll just like, you don't hear anything. And then he's like, well, how's that Elmo's fault? Like he starts yelling at the kid in Elmo's voice. Very funny in the context of the episode.
Well, one of my favorite scenes in this comic was you find out that Hawkeye has a sky cycle.
Yeah,
I thought that was Captain America's.
No.
That was Hawkeye's?
I thought it was Hawkeye's.
Oh, I thought it was Captain America's.
Well, they said it was Hawkeye's in this one.
Yeah.
And Deadpool and Hawkeye get in a conversation, and basically he's like, I'm so mad at you for not using the sky cycle right. Like if I was you, I'd be out every day on that sky cycle shooting arrows from the air and stuff like that. So that's like a running joke in the comic. And then he's like, so what'd you do with that sky cycle? He's like, it's in storage at the old Avengers mansion. So at the end of the comic, when fucking Kate and Hawkeye are tied down, they're getting shot at and everything. And guess who comes to save the day? Fucking Deadpool with the sky cycle. And he's in old Hawkeye's costume. Right. And he's like, now this is how you use a sky cycle. and then they quickly cut to Hawkeye and they're like, wow, the sky cycle, how'd he fix the broken combustor or whatever? I forget what he said. And then the next panel you see is just the thing blowing up and Deadpool getting shot across the sky into some building. It was fucking great, man.
Here's a line. How did Deadpool manage to fix the busted stabilizer? What? He didn't say anything about a broken whatever. They're like, and then it's just fireball meteor going through the fucking sky into a building.
There's another great line before they go into. They have to knock out the power because Black Cat is trying to download this file of all the agents. And they have to knock out the power, so she can't do that. And Deadpool hands Kate a RPG, and she's like, "Yes." she's like, "I've never used a gun or anything like that." She's like, "Just do it." He's like, "You go, you take out. I'm gonna go in high," and he's like, "From above, I mean." he's like, "I'm going in high. You take out low," but he was like, "I'm going in high," and then. ... from above, I mean. I was like, this is great. So Kate goes with the RPG, and you see it, like, you see the panel is from the perspective of, you see Black Cat trying to download something and it's going wrong. They're like, fuck, I don't know the password. But the whole time in the background outside the window, you see Kate with the RPG, like on the next building over. And then she has it at one point, she goes to fire it and the RPG is pointing the wrong way. And you're like, oh my God, she's going to fire it upside down. And then at the last second she switches, and the whole time the Black Cat and they're just fumbling around. And eventually you see her shoot the rocket down. But it's funny because you just see Kate in the background. They don't know she's there.
Right.
But it was hilarious when she had the rocket pointed the wrong way. I was like, this is so awesome.
And then after she fired it, she was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Right. Yeah, she was like, and I want to use guns from now on in RPGs. It was classic, man. I had so much fun. Dude, Deadpool just uses himself as an arrow. That was like my favorite part of 2022 so far. It's like Kate and Hawkeye are shooting arrows at everybody, and Deadpool's like, I will use myself as an arrow, and he just jumps off this balcony and he straightens up like an arrow, It was so much fun, man.
Rob, did you read the comic?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
I was like, all right.
What were your thoughts?
Oh, it was funny. It was good.
Rob,
it was
Rob with
much
the in-depth commentary.
It was. What do you want me to say? You guys have pretty much covered it all. Steve covered it in like 10 decibels.
Dude, there's so much more. There's so much great stuff.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a nice read. It wasn't like put me to sleep read. It was. I'm into this comic.
It definitely didn't put you to sleep because you finished it in record time, right? Like you had it.
I finished the first 5, and then I read the last chapter.
Well, there was only
5.
Oh, well, no, it started with 0, didn't it?
Yeah,
but it only went to 4.
Oh, well, then I finished the 5th one a couple days or
like 3 hours ago.
Because I forgot. No.
Also, I made a mistake earlier. I got to correct my. I said Matt Rosenberg. It was Matt Fraction, not Matt. That's a different writer. Matt Fraction was the writer on the Hawkeye series.
Oh yeah, did you see? I'm sorry. Did you see the nods to the Matt Fraction comic? Like one of them, they used the line, "Okay, this looks bad." Remember that?
Well, that the dog scene, the whole dog thing, that was straight out of the Matt Fraction run.
And one of the intros, like the panels to the intro of the comic, was the same font and everything and they had the little pictures of the different characters at the bottom.
Yes.
And said, "This is Hawkeye, this is Hawkeye," and then they went to Deadpool, not Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But I thought that was nice, man.
So I hope you guys see why I like Deadpool so much. I mean, when written well, he's a great character. When written even slightly poorly, he's a terrible character. But again, the Daniel Way run on Deadpool, it was something like 5 years of Deadpool was written by one dude, and it was terrible. Like I've read, and I shouldn't say that because that's not fair, because I've only read one issue out of all 60 some issues because it's all I could stomach. And then when I saw that the rest were written by this guy, I was like, nope, not doing it.
Are you ever going to give it a shot? Try to get past that first one?
If I get really bored one day, maybe. But man, it was so awful. And then that whole trope that he used with the multiple voices in his head is so grating and horrible and cartoony and just not funny or entertaining for my sense of humor. But it was a popular run, I guess. He stayed on for, I think it was the second longest Deadpool run. And I think he's written more issues of Deadpool than almost anybody else, except for maybe Jerry Duggan now. I think Jerry Duggan might have written more by now.
Dude, what else has Jerry Duggan done? Because I was in love with this comic, man.
I think he was writing Savage Avengers. I don't know if that's over. I think
he was I started that. I read like the first 5 of that.
And I think he was, I can't think of anything else, but yeah, it's worth a Google, just see what else he's put out there. Yeah, high quality stuff.
How about the part where they don't want to let Hawkeye know that they got beat up by him?
Yeah,
because he was brainwashed the whole time, right. And he's
so
like,
he doesn't remember.
Yeah, their cops are questioning him at the end after he's not hypnotized anymore. It's like, well, I beat up Kate and Deadpool, and they're like, whoa, no, you didn't beat us up, even though he beat the shit out of him. He's like, oh, okay, maybe you're right. I'm a little foggy.
Right? They're like, no, he can't know about this.
There's so much stuff in this, man. I loved it.
All right. Rob, what's your rating out of 4 stars?
I give it a 3.
3. All right, Steve.
Yeah. This is 4 for me. Loved it.
I agree with Steve. I'm going 4 stars. Thoroughly entertained. The action just moved throughout. I think it's an easy read. It's not some heavyweight comic. It's not trying to do like Dark Knight Returns. It knows what it's trying to do. It's trying to be a fast-moving, action-packed, funny comic book, and I think it achieves that perfectly. It was a good time. All the artists who worked on it were great. I have no complaints about any of the artwork.
I actually laughed out loud a couple of times. Like, actually,
yes,
not just when you type LOL.
Right.
No, I actually fucking laughed, dude. It was great.
Rob, did you laugh at any point?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
but not out loud.
Dude, when Kate's fumbling around with the RPG, I was just laughing my ass off. Kristen just looks at me. I'm like, what? Like, it's funny.
When Deadpool finds the Sky Cycle and he starts singing Queen's Bicycle, but he's saying Sky Cycle instead.
Yeah, he's saying Sky Cycle. So when does this next Deadpool movie come out? Isn't he supposed to be in the MCU?
Yeah, it's going to be.
Allegedly.
I mean, Deadpool is in the MCU. They're supposedly keeping it rated R. And a writer from Bob's Burgers is writing it, which is
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I forgot.
It's a well-loved show that I've seen a lot of episodes of because Maggie likes it. It is not a bad show, but it's not as funny as people seem to think it is. It's cute, and it's got some good jokes and some great performances. Like, it's got a great cast, but the writing is not like, it's not one of those shows that makes me crack the fuck up, like Metalocalypse.
They still do Metalocalypse? They still do that show?
No, it is coming back, but they haven't done it in a long time. But yeah, it definitely doesn't make me laugh out loud like Peacemaker.
That Peacemaker, man, I can't wait to watch the next episode of that. I was like,
so
he's got
good.
all those helmets now. I want to see him use them.
So, right? Except for the one that gives you scabies. You know?
No, I still want to see that.
I was watching too. I'm like, don't grab the scabies helmet. You don't want to get scabies.
Did he leave that one on the shelf?
I think he did. I remember it was like over to the left, like on its own. And I was literally watching, but I guess we'll find out if he ends up with scabies.
or he can give it to someone else,
Right.
They're thinking it has, Aha, scabies.
All right. So next week's episode is a movie episode. We're watching Wolverine, the extended cut. Has anybody started that yet?
Nope.
Rob?
No, but I've seen it like 5 times. So.
No, but the extended cut. It's a little different.
Rob will tell you all the commercials in it.
Right.
There's a Tide commercial.
It's on Vudu. And so the comic we're doing, we've never done a Wolverine comic, so we're going to do a Wolverine comic.
Oh, wow.
I knew that was coming. We can tell. We know what you're going to assign us just by the conversations we have during the week.
Oh, do you now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's going to be 6 issues, but it's kind of weird.
Shit.
the first 4 issues we're reading are the very first Wolverine solo title. It's just called Wolverine. It came out like 1982. It's from
no enthusiasm.
Frank Miller.
Rob.
Rob's like, God damn it, fucking comics.
And then it's got to be. Oh, wow!
Look, he's writing something down. Look,
he's
I'm writing it down because I don't want to listen to the podcast just so I can figure out what to read.
All right, so the very first Wolverine.
Text him.
Yeah, you can text. I will reply. Wolverine 1 through 4. I think it's from like 1982, and then there are 2 more comics, and they are X-Men issues 172 and 173. And you have to read Wolverine first because it
X-Men
all goes
what?
172 and 173.
Wait, 172, isn't that the one everybody wants?
No, nobody wants that.
What was Wolverine 1 through 4? What year is that?
1982 or 83. I think.
Damn, that's a long time ago.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hulk, Wolverine's first appearance.
Yeah, that's Hulk 180 and 181.
And then X-Men 172, 173.
Yes, the original X-Men run. So the old one that has like hundreds of issues in it that started in like 1960 something.
And that's same. That's the same one.
Same what? Same run? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, comics used to go on for hundreds of issues before they started rebooting them all the time.
How many Wolverine movies are there now?
I think there's been 3 dedicated Wolverine movies. And now the guys who made the Spider-Man game for PlayStation are making a Wolverine game. So that should be good.
So Rob, next week you're going to have to play the game.
That's where I draw.
And watch a movie.
I got my homework written down, everybody.
Excellent.
And then Sean will assign more work Tuesday night or Wednesday night.
I did that one time.
Hey, make sure you watch Peacemaker.
Yeah, terrible idea, wasn't it? I'm trying to help you guys.
But I plan out my whole day. You got to give me a couple more days.
I'm trying to enhance your lives here. I really am.
Fucking. I can't. I don't even want to watch a movie. I just want to read comics. I want more of this. Yeah,
wow.
I've been tearing them up, man. Through all that Moon Knight, like I was telling you. I'm so excited. I can't wait, man. This Moon Knight show looks so fucking good. Oscar Isaac, dude, dude. Oh my God. It looks fantastic, man.
I love your excitement for something going in. You
I
have
don't
some
think
knowledge.
they could not have cast a better guy for this.
I think they could have gone better, actually.
Well, who?
Keanu fucking Reeves, bro. I fucking love Keanu Reeves.
No fucking way. I do too, but no way, man.
He's a badass.
How do you know Oscar Isaac isn't?
No, he'll be great. I have nothing against Oscar Isaac at all. He's great.
He's a little small in stature, though. When I picture Moon Knight, I picture like that, like Bruce Wayne. He's a big.
Yeah.
He's not like
the guy
huge,
from Twilight.
But...
Is that what you picture? That's what we're getting. So,
yeah,
getting a scrawny guy.
He's Robert Patterson's more like Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond. That skinny Batman.
Yeah, he's kind of like Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Dude, Moon Knight, he looks so menacing. I want to see him walk in. I want to see people terrified of somebody in white just coming towards them.
He does look scary with the glowing eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a force to be reckoned with.
All right, so I've only read one Moon Knight comic, but I got the impression on the one that we read that I got the impression that he wasn't like he could have been hallucinating everything. He could have just been psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he could have supernatural, that God actually gives him powers type thing.
Right.
But I from the comic we read, it could go either way. You could have your own interpretation of it. They did such a good job writing it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
sorry, go ahead.
In the trailer I got with Moon Knight, the TV show, it looked like, there's no doubt this guy's
supernatural.
Supernatural, yeah.
The last comic I read, the Age of Khonshu run, Avengers, it's all supernatural. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
So they've done a run of comics where he has definitely got superpowers from this godlike being,
mm-hmm.
And there's no doubt. There's not like any doubt.
Not
from what I've read.
Last one I read.
From just what I've read, like not actual comics, but just like kind of reading a history of Moon Knight. It just kind of depends on the writer. They've had a supernatural Moon Knight, or they've had a non-supernatural Moonlight.
Okay, where he could be psychotic, or he's psychotic because of the supernatural.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The first run, his first series, he started to lose it, and then the series we read together on the podcast, that was one where you could take it either way. And then this last one I read, there ain't no doubt about it, man.
He's definitely
Khonshu,
got
man.
the God in him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with Rob though. The show, just the way the suit kind of like wrapped up on him and stuff. And again, unless he's hallucinating that, we haven't seen it, but it does look like they're kind of giving him like a superpower slant. And I'm fine with either interpretation.
I don't care, but I liked how the comic left it up to you, where man, this guy's either batshit crazy or he really does have superpowers.
Yeah, I like this way too. I like you choosing which one you like best. But who knows? I from the way it looks, I'm on board, man. I'm so excited. Remember when I was like, I hate reading comics because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah, now I get it. Now I'm like, no, I want to know the background. I want to know the story. I want to know it before it happens. Like I get it now.
I don't want to know.
It is exciting to see the characters you like come to the screen, And it is exciting to kind of have like that insider knowledge that you've had. You know, you weren't trying to spoil it per se. You were just enjoying a story. Now they're adapting a story you loved. And now it's where you go in with like, okay, I know how it happened in the comic. I wonder if that's how they'll do it here. Are they going to switch some stuff up, you know? And I've never been disappointed. Like I said, you know, I read all of Civil War before the movie came out. I read all of Winter Soldier before that movie came out. And I like both interpretations because they are different. There's a lot of differences, and they're both great. And at no point was I like, man, I wish I hadn't read the comic. I loved that I had read the comic. It made everything like that much more exciting. And it's also kind of weird too, like when you're at the theater and you feel like you have this knowledge, and you can tell the people around you do not. And I know I keep mentioning this, but like the one time when one of the like 3 times I saw Infinity War, I just remember there was a lady like behind me to the left. I just after the snap. And everybody turns to fucking dust. I just remember her saying to her date, you know, husband, boyfriend, whatever, is like, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. And I was just like, that's hilarious. Because meanwhile, I was hoping, I was like, oh, please let him do the snap. Please let people die. And there's people there who are just like, let's go see the big Marvel movie. And they're like, huh? Like everybody died. What happened? Like, you know,
what happened?
Like, it was just great that moment in the theater where I'm just like, oh, you have no idea. Like people who don't read comics, they don't. I mean, and I'm sure they're learning the more movies they see, but like nobody's really dead. You know what I mean? Like, everybody comes back if they want them to. They can come back,
right?
And but yeah, just like that kind of defeated shock in her voice where what? I didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. And I was like, I just wanted to fucking like turn around and start laughing because it was so funny, but I didn't.
See, so like Winter Soldier, I had no idea that was Bucky. Like, but you obviously did, you know. But it's still that didn't ruin it for you, you know. Like you still
no. I don't know. To me, like going in,
that was the best movie out of Marvel.
Well, it was too, but also just the way it's cool to see something you love adapted so well, and then picks the, you know, again, you know, I'm always referencing like Punisher stuff, how it's adapted so poorly. They cherry pick things, but they cherry pick the wrong things, or the story they're telling isn't near the same quality as the one they're cherry picking from. Whereas the Russo brothers, you know, they did Winter Soldier. They took everything, you know, of consequence and everything that made sense from the Winter Soldier storyline, wove it into this other universe that is completely different from the comic book, and in a way that was actually more impactful than the comic book, in my opinion. And that was great. Like I said, it is funny too, because I think I vaguely remember that time period, and it was hard for me to remember that not everybody knows Bucky is the Winter Soldier, that was like a big reveal. So like anytime I have conversations with you guys about it before it came out, I had to be careful because I didn't, you know, what was it? Deadpool 2. Like Maggie had no idea Cable was a good guy. Like they set him up as a villain. What's that?
I said I didn't either. No idea.
So that's funny to me because like I go in, I know full well Cable's a good guy. But a majority of people who go to see these movies, they don't fucking know who Cable is. It's that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we didn't read that. We didn't review Cable until after that movie had been out. So.
Oh yeah, it was like we didn't even start the podcast till after that movie had been out. So
yeah.
But it is weird. You do feel like an insider.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you feel more of a part of the movie, you know. And I thought I wouldn't like that, but now that I've read it, it's like, yeah, let me be the insider.
All right. I'm sorry. I gotta digress. I just this is the part of the podcast. If you're on YouTube, you should look it up on YouTube. This is the part of the podcast where Rob strokes his hair for about 4 minutes. He does that a lot.
Oh wait, no, the beard too. He takes two fingers and he does this.
Yeah. So I never catch him doing that.
When he's really heavy in thought, he does this.
Okay.
Yeah,
If it's the hair. It's this that gets me. It
strokes his beard.
This.
And he just kind of watches. It's just
Yeah,
like
He's
I
like,
never,
look at
I
that.
never
Look
look
at-
at me. I never
look
look
at
at
my
myself.
thick and lovely hair.
He's not
Like,
even
God
listening
damn.
to us at all. He's just looking at his own thing. Like,
Look at his hair.
look at this hair.
Oh.
You're so vain.
So please check the timestamp and then
Hey,
go watch
Steve.
the video.
This is for you, buddy.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, fuck you, man. I can't do that.
No, I just
Look at
got out of the shower,
Look at all
so
this
it's
wonderful hair. Just gorgeous.
I hate you guys.
Do a transplant from your back. I don't know why you haven't done that.
Yeah, you want to compare back hair? I'll win that one.
I will win for weirdest placement of back hair, however. Like yours is just like a sheet. Mine is like splotches.
It's like crabgrass.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I found a white chest hair. I was like, it's over.
Oh, dude, I found a white fucking ball hair years ago. So it's been
This dude. Okay, yeah, we're old. Sorry, young listeners, but my wife, dude, there's one ear hair that grows out of my ear, and it's like so long, and my wife always has to come and pick it out. She's like, "All right, it's been 2 weeks. It's time for me to get that." I'm like, "It's like what the fuck? Like why?
Like,
why
I
can't
gotta get the special tweezers."
No, like it's long enough. Like, she does have the tweezers, but it's almost so long where she can just pull it out. It's just like, why can't I grow that shit on my head? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Why the ear?
Why the ear? For fuck's sake.
Why the fucking ear of all things?
We just lost the millennial listeners. They went to go
dude.
watch that scene with Boba Fett and the millennial bikes.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. I am Boba Fett.
I am Boba Fett.
And that little droid's like, I don't fucking care. And it just turns itself off.
Right. He's like, I'm a fucking rat catcher. Like, what are you yelling at me for?
I am Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's so out of touch now. Like they really did it. They really did a 180 on that character. From
Yeah,
the
dude, they did.
series.
It's like you were saying earlier. Like he's the fucking idiot that got taken out by a blind guy. This is just a continuation of that guy.
Oh, it's so disappointing. It's upsetting. Oh, hey, so here's a little bit of comic book
Everybody
news.
needs a tribe.
Right? Like, what?
Uh,
What are you talking about? He's all sentimental and weird. And it's funny, too, because I think he's supposed to sound wise. And it's just like, why do you suck at everything then? If you're so fucking smart, why do you suck at everything?
Yeah, he makes a point. He's like, we can do this. We're smarter than them. I'm like, are you?
Right.
I don't know if you are.
Are you, though? Are you?
Are you? It's like, you put me in this spot, I'll do the same thing. Like, dude,
Yeah,
come
he's a
on.
great
We need somebody smarter.
He's a great negotiator, too. I want you to fight with me.
Right.
And
they're like,
next thing
no,
you know, he's
how
like,
about no?
And he's like, I'll do it myself.
No. They're like, okay, I just want you to stay neutral. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Right. We'll stab you in the back.
Yeah, I bet that's gonna pan out for him
Yeah.
too. Meanwhile, Fennec Shand is like, I gotta find a new job.
Yeah.
This is not panning out the way I thought it was going to.
Get paid, I'm out.
This guy's useless.
Rob brings up an excellent point though. He brings in all the other whatever capos or whatever what are they called?
I don't know.
Prime lords, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they are. Bosses, all the bosses. And he's like, hey, we need to team up and fight this guy. And they're like, how about no? And he's like, okay. Like, what? That's it? You're not going to put up... I thought he was going to, like, threaten somebody or shoot somebody or something. And instead, he's like, okay. Like, what the fuck?
I'm hoping all this builds up and he just snaps at the end. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Like, he's trying to play nice and eventually something's going to happen. He's like, no. The switch flips. That's what I keep waiting for, because this is fucking...
I think you're gonna have to keep waiting.
This is boring as shit, man.
It is. It's so disappointing.
I didn't think I'd be more excited to turn on Peacemaker than I did.
Oh, I did.
Boba Fett. Not me.
After watching that first episode.
Remember, I was like, I'm sick of Marvel. I'm glad Star Wars is here. And now I'm like, okay, I'm back to Moon Knight. I'm a Marvel. I'm back to Marvel now.
So I started talking about this. We have 4 episodes of Peacemaker, and all of those characters are more exciting and more developed than anything in Boba Fett so far.
except
Think
John
about
Economos. But
and we have how many episodes of Boba Fett? 5?
4. I think it was the 4th
4?
episode.
Yeah, I mean, look at the comparison there.
And it is.
The storytelling is just, and I like John. I like Favreau, but
Favreau.
That's what I said. But man, he really missed it on this one.
And that scene where she tries to talk down Chrysanthemum, and it was supposed to be funny, and it just wasn't.
And then it was like,
I knew he was going to rip his arm off. I was like, they're doing a Guido thing.
Yeah, we all knew it.
I was going to be upset if he didn't, though. That's my whole thing. I was like, he better fucking rip that dude's arms off. He only ripped one arm off. And I was like, okay, I'll take one. But
I was thinking the same thing during. I was like, she better not talk him out of this.
Right.
Go ahead.
And totally neuter this guy, because if they neuter this guy, this is the one guy I really can get behind on this show.
Yeah,
this is what I was thinking. I was like, they're not going to show him ripping off his arm. This is on Disney Plus. And then when he ripped off one of his arms, I was like, oh, they at least did it half-ass.
They showed it for the most part. I mean, saw his arm.
Yeah,
they didn't show it like in the cantina where there was like a bloody stump though.
Yeah,
like in the movie.
Which that always bothered me though, because there shouldn't have been any blood. Because
should be cauterized.
And it's always funny to me too, because in all of the things he corrected, quote unquote, in the special editions, it's like, why didn't you clean up the blood, George? If you're gonna correct something, correct that. Like it should have like like the way a leaf looks when it's burdened. You know what I mean? Like that singed look.
Yeah.
That's what the arm should have looked like, just black with like.
Should have looked like Anakin at the end.
Right.
What there was there blood on the ice monster on Hoth too, right? Wasn't there blood?
There's blood with that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think from him hitting Luke, or I don't remember. Oh, but anyway, something that ties both these shows together, both Boba Fett and Peacemaker, is in an episode of Peacemaker, he talks about how Wookiees have teeth in their butts. And I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And that became that if you start to type that in, like do Wookiees, if you start typing that into Google, it will fill out, do Wookiees have teeth in their anus or something like that. And like that auto completes to that now, because so many people were like, do Wookiees have teeth in their butts? And so that's hilarious. Like James Gunn tweeted out that, and yeah, if you actually do a Google search, you type do Wookiees, it'll like auto complete, like have teeth in their anus or something like that. I forget what it was.
That's funny. I was like, yeah, that was probably one of the Star Wars books. That must be canon. I totally thought it was. Dude, when he said matter eating lad, holy shit, please let me see matter eating lad just for 5 seconds, man. Please.
Matter eater lad.
Matter eater lad.
Matter eater lad. That name, everything about that character is so absurd. It was just, when he referenced him, I had to rewind it. I was like, oh my God, did he just say matter eater lad ate a Wendy's? Like, that's so funny.
I just want to see him, please. That'll make my year. Oh man.
You know what's funny? If you hadn't gotten into comics, that joke wouldn't have been nearly as funny to you.
No, I wouldn't even know who the fuck it was.
So
man.
Also a little bit of comic book news here at the end of the show. They're gonna kill off the Justice League in DC Comics, which is stupid because we all know nobody stays dead in comic books. So like going back to when they killed Superman in the early 90s, that drove so many people to comic book stores, so many people who didn't read comics. But I think everybody learned from that though, too, that, no one's ever really dead. Like they say in fucking Rise of Skywalker or whatever. But
how do you know? They just tell people they're going to kill them? Why would you tell people?
So you run to the comic store and buy
go buy it. Yeah, and they did the same thing with Superman. Superman was huge though. It was covered by the news. Just like local news were going to comic book shops, interviewing idiots like me, comic book shop owner. It was such a big deal.
I knew that.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. So I think ever since then, they've been trying to duplicate that level of success. And so that's what they build up hype. They're like, we're going to kill the Justice League. And it's like, oh, who fucking cares?
I thought Zack Snyder did that already.
Hang on. What? All right, there we go.
I forgot we had sound effects. It's been so long. That was good, Rob. Right. I liked it. Yeah, I just thought word was going to get out that they were dead no matter what, so it's still going to spread like wildfire.
So they're killing all the Justice. Who's even in the Justice League now?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Superman,
like
Batman, Green Lantern, whatever.
So they're going to kill all of them.
Flash.
That's what they said. But I don't actually know. I don't know. It's so stupid to me at this point. Like, is anybody? Yeah, I'm sorry about my chair. I got to sit still.
No, that's Rob's chair.
No, that wasn't me.
That was my chair.
That was Squeaky McGee's over there.
But just like, who cares? Like, comic book readers, we're all clued in now. We know that it's not permanent. We know we're not here going to kill off Superman and Batman. Oh, and here's a little tidbit that I read that I found very interesting. So Rob Liefeld, I follow him on Twitter. He created Deadpool and X-Force and Cable. He tweeted out a graphic from like 1984, maybe 83. And it was like the top selling comics for that month in that year. Batman was number 66 on that list. And the reason he tweeted that out, he was like, before Frank Miller did The Dark Knight Returns, Batman was not like, he'd been popular in the past, but he was on a very bad downswing at that point in the 80s.
Wow.
And then like Batman Year One and then Batman Dark Knight Returns came out, like basically just revived Batman. But to see Batman, like the flagship DC title nowadays, that's always in the top 10 pretty much, at number 66 was like, holy shit. Like,
the 89 Batman movie also brought a lot of...
Yeah, but I'm just talking about comic sales, though.
Yeah.
And in the world of comics, Frank Miller is the one who brought that interest back. And then I think in turn, that piqued Hollywood's interest because they'd had the rights to do a Batman movie since like Superman came out in the late 70s. And they finally started moving on it because of the popularity of not only those two Frank Miller stories, but then the Alan Moore Killing Joke story. All those elements.
You mean the Frank Miller story? The Frank Miller story that Rob couldn't read? The one that was
correct.
That he said was garbage?
That was the second one.
That was the first one. That was the one that brought Batman to the spotlight again.
Yeah, I read the first one. I just didn't read the second one.
Yeah, you didn't read the Frank Miller one, The Dark Knight Returns.
No, I read the other one.
You read The Killing Joke, but
no,
you didn't read Dark Knight.
I read the other one too.
Oh yeah, you read Year One.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, The Dark Knight Returns is usually cited.
One comic out of 2 years of doing this shit.
Okay, but the reason that's funny is because it's literally like Google Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, and you'll see it like in everybody's top 10 comics of all time list. And Rob's like, I can't get through this garbage.
I
think he called it hot garbage. That's why I thought it was funny.
Let me see if I can.
What are you Googling?
Batman Dark Knight Returns.
Wookie's ass.
Sean is Googling. They got on Your Mom's House, the podcast with Tom Segura and his wife, that whenever somebody's Googling, they have like Google music going.
I'm just Google music. They have like their own little soundtrack.
There's like the guy that always looks stuff up. Nadav, I forget what his name is.
Does it go like this?
He's like, Nadav is Googling.
All right, so I'm just gonna read a little blurb from
like the Harry Potter theme.
I'm just gonna read a little blurb from the Wikipedia page here under a section called Influence. The immense popularity of The Dark Knight Returns served both to return the character of Batman to a central role in pop culture, but also started the era known as the Dark Age of comic books. The grim, seedy versions of Gotham and Batman updated the character's identity from the campy Adam West version from the TV series and proved critically and commercially successful enough that a new wave of dark superheroes were either created or repopularized, and pre-existing heroes were redesigned or retooled to fit this new trend. So yeah, it had some pretty major influence, and Rob's like, I don't get it. It's not good.
Sounds like that influenced the Snyderverse.
Yeah, but again, he took it's like the Punisher, where he saw a few pages that were cool. He didn't really understand that this took place at the end of Batman's story, not at the beginning. And instead he started there like a fucking moron. Retrospectively, the series is today widely considered one of the greatest works in the comics medium.
Greatest works. Hot garbage.
IGN Comics ranked The Dark Knight Returns first on a list of 25 greatest Batman graphic novels. And called it a true masterpiece of storytelling with scene after unforgettable scene. In 2005, Time magazine chose the collected edition as one of the 10 best English language graphic novels ever written.
Rob says trash, I tell you. Trash.
I didn't say that.
Rob, I fell asleep.
Rob's blurb like too many words, not enough pictures.
God, if there's another headshot.
Rob, where's my coffee?
What were the top 10?
I don't know, but in the top 25, it was number 1. Time magazine said it was in the top 10. I don't know.
Time magazine now.
I'm sure number 1 was probably Watchmen. Watchmen's always like in the top 2 usually, or at least the top 5. Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, probably Killing Joke is in there. I don't know. Maybe Killing Joke's not in there. But
they're doing the Doomsday Clock. I think they just did it. We're at 90 seconds till midnight or something.
They keep moving it up. I wonder why that is.
I have no idea, mate.
What was the reason they gave?
Nothing.
Climate change or war with Russia?
I think Trump with the potential to be president again. That moved it up.
I didn't actually read the article, so I don't know. So I'm just going to speculate and state it as fact and say that it's the fact that people are like, I think I'd rather get COVID than a vaccine. I think that's kind of been like, people are way dumber than we thought. Let's go ahead and push that second hand up. That minute hand, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're dead.
We're all going to die. Make sure you read The Dark Knight Returns before you die, Rob.
It's a masterpiece.
That's what's hilarious to me, though. I love that Rob was like, no, I'm not doing this one.
You're right.
I'm like, this has been cited as one of the greatest works of the medium. And he's like,
I hope it got better after the first chapter.
I think that's great.
Couldn't fucking see straight.
So
Rob had to put on his readers. He's like,
I have my readers on.
Dude, I gotta take my glasses off to read sometimes and hold shit really close. I'm not quite at the bifocal stage, but I'm definitely getting there. But yeah, Rob, I genuinely love that Rob was like,
I do too.
This is toilet paper.
I think it's great. I love it.
It's just so Rob.
I like the movie.
I like the movie. It's on TBS. There you go. Oh, it's time to stroke his hair. I love this.
Why do I do this fucking thing?
You guys so we can laugh, dude. That was the whole point. We just
love to get talking to you.
Yeah.
We love that you're here.
And feels like you're busting my balls a little bit there, fellas.
Yeah, that's what friends do. They shit on each other. That's great.
Come on now. We've all give as good as we get, right?
Friends and family. If you can't shit on them, who are you going to shit on?
Rob almost ended our friendship over the Eternals. So
I watched it with Molly.
Yeah. And
it wasn't as bad the second time.
Oh
my!
He's getting brainwashed.
I guess maybe because I knew the characters. I see what they were trying to do. It was the ending, which there's nothing you could say about that. But
the ending, God, that was the greatest part because it was over.
Really?
Right?
No, I mean how it's just very comical.
I saw it. I had to comment on a Facebook post today from a comic book. I think it was a Bleeding Cool, which is a comic book focused website, and they posted, and it's obviously just clickbait, but they posted something like the headline was, Eternals is a flawed but interesting experiment. I had to comment. I was just like, no. I was like, boring is the opposite of interesting, actually. It's not interesting at all. That's the whole problem. It's not remotely interesting.
Bad execution.
Everything about it was so bad.
I think
and then the whole Kit Harington, the Black Knight, Green Knight, whatever the fuck he's gonna be.
Black
It's
Knight.
unless you know anything about the comic, it was totally irrelevant.
I don't even know anything about Black Knight.
Yeah.
I've read that name here and there. I don't know if I could identify the character. If you show me 4 different drawings of comic book knights, I don't know if I could tell you which one was the Black Knight.
That's what I'm saying. It's why? And then to the and then I thought it was Icarus, and it's there was no love triangle because he's in the beginning and he's in the end, and it's
I don't even know what you're talking about because I don't care.
That was the part where Sean was snoring during the movie. We had to wake him up. What you guys didn't know Eros was Thanos' brother or something? Did you know that?
I had to look. No,
everything they showed at the end, I had to go look.
Yeah,
up.
I didn't.
And dude, the fact that we hear Blade's voice or something,
that makes no sense either.
I'm like, how am I supposed to know that? They're getting way too insular with the Marvel nods. Normally it's oh my god, there's Howard the Duck, right? You're like, that's fucking Howard the Duck. And this time they're like, it's a guy they called him Star Fox from the video game. What's happening now? Is this a Nintendo? Is Mario gonna play? You know what I mean?
Man, I don't. Somebody was like, "Oh, that's Harry Styles or whatever his name is."
Right?
Who the fuck is Harry Styles?
If you are over the age of 30, male and heterosexual, you have no idea who Harry Styles is.
I know it. I didn't know who he was.
They're
like, "Oh, that's Harry Styles." I'm like,
again, you only hit 2 of those qualifiers, so.
So what? The Blade. Get back to that. Was that supposed to be the new guy playing Blade, his voice, or was it Snipes?
No, it was Marshala Ali recorded a line, and I read this at the time, so I don't remember, but there's some voice you hear when he opens the sword or something. I think.
You sure you want to do that or something? He was questioning him.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's apparently Blade, which again, you would have no fucking idea if you didn't have the internet, because it's what are you doing?
See, you think they're doing that on purpose to get clicks, to get hits?
I have Eternals was so bad that
but marketing people are fucking genius.
Marketing people are smart, but the people who made Eternals are not. So I don't think that because they show
the people that made Eternals. I see what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah, so the people who made that movie aren't good at things. So no, I don't think that they thought that through really.
That I was like, thank God this movie's over. And then the credits came. I was like, is that a leprechaun? What is going on? What is happening?
I'm a leprechaun.
I'm a leprechaun.
What is that from? Oh, it's from Austin
Powers.
Yeah, I'm a leprechaun. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. It's a television commercial.
It's a television commercial.
Scott! Oh God! All right, I'm deaf. Steve just killed me. I died. I fucking died.
I learned how to turn my
so
head
I think most people agreed with us on Eternals. It doesn't seem to be very popular.
It is not.
It's definitely I think most people agree it's the worst thing Marvel put out.
So yeah, I think most people would agree with that. If they don't agree with that, then that's dumb because it's so bad.
I don't hear too many people disagreeing with that.
Right? It's so bad.
Steve still thinks Hulk's the worst movie.
Yeah, that's
Incredible Hulk. Yeah, that was.
I thought it was pretty good.
I like Dark World better than that.
I didn't. You would. Have you watched it lately? The Hulk movie?
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times because Sean said it's good, and I kept trying to watch it, and I'm like, nah, it's not.
It's not bad. It's not horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it. What do you want me to tell you? That was garbage. No, it wasn't garbage, but
I think it's better than Thor 2.
Nah, I like Thor 2 better.
The Dark World? Was that Thor 2?
That you like that better than Hulk?
Really?
Yeah.
Like that whole fight scene with the Hulk is better than the entirety of Thor 2. I don't even remember the bad guy's name in Thor 2. I don't remember what they were fighting over. You know what I remember from Thor 2?
Elf.
There's a hole in the ground and they throw shit in it. They throw shit in the ground and it ends up, that's what I remember from Thor 2. Oh, and
Loki, God, that's
when Loki turns into
too much like Harry Potter. He can't deal with that.
No, it's not like Harry Potter. It's just that it's not memorable. Like I don't remember. Do you remember what's the story?
The dark elf is coming to get the
The ether.
The ether.
What is he going to do with that?
He's
gonna take over the world and make the whole universe dark.
Yeah.
He's going to make it like dark outside? Is that what you're saying?
Everything dark. Everything. Yeah, he's going to kill the whole world. Destroy the world.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always love that.
Well, he's the
cartoon.
The Lord of Darkness. It's just like
if everything's dead, what are you gonna do?
It's just what like the Venom run. What's that guy? That's what he was trying to do. Make it all dark.
So in the King in Black?
Yeah, King in Black. That's what he was trying to do.
He was doing it with style though.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay, whatever.
He did it in an entertaining way. So that's what's key in a story. It's not necessarily about the destination. It's about the journey. And if the journey is not memorable, that's not a good story.
Well, it was entertaining to me, so that's why I liked it.
Again, that all makes sense. That all
the best part of that movie was when she said
meow 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 meow
meow meow
meow meow
meow meow.
Meanwhile, like Hulk and Abomination had an epic battle, destroyed Harlem, and Steve's like, boring.
I just didn't like the way Abomination looked.
Huh.
And
okay.
I had to fight.
Just
it's like
kind of looked like Abomination.
People throwing each other into fucking bricks. All right, I get it. Now the helicopter thing was cool. I liked seeing that when the blade came off and everything.
Dude, he was pummeling. He ripped a car in half and was punching it with
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
That alone should be
Didn't he rip a car in half in the other Hawk? The one with Nick Nolte?
Probably. I don't remember.
Was that the one with Bana? What's his name?
What, Eric Bana?
Was that the John Woo Hawk?
John Woo. No, Ang Lee.
Ang Lee. Oh,
yes.
Shit. That was not good of me.
Now, that one I don't remember.
I remember because at the end,
at least I remember Incredible.
It was like two clouds fighting at the end. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
It was
so dumb.
There were some moments that I really liked, but overall, it's like this is a very boring movie. It was very boring.
A cloud fight? You mean like Green Lantern?
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. There was some great scene. Like I loved when he fought the Hulk dogs. I loved the
that was
the
cool.
fight scene in the desert was cool. That's it. That's end of list.
And he does jump. He jumps really far.
But like,
is kind of cool.
That's a 2-hour movie that feels like 4 hours. Like it just drags the fuck on.
That ending, ooh, that was bad. A fight scene with no fighting.
Right. He's literally fighting a cloud, like you said. It's like
Parallax.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was like that. It was horrible.
I need to rewatch Green Lantern.
I just said Parallax. Like I know that name now. I will always be surprised when I just spout out comic villains and heroes now. Like I knew Matter Eating Lad. like thanks, Steve reads a comic.
Taika Waititi's in that Green Lantern in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
he's like a scientist or something.
He looks so young.
Steve, I'm proud of who you're turning into. This is great. I wish you had done this, when I was in the 90s.
Yeah.
so I kind of had just one person to talk about comics with because I had nobody gave a shit. I had no friends that like comics.
I wish someone would have emphasized it a little bit better, and maybe I would have.
I don't think I could have done any more than I did.
I really don't. You're a horrible friend. You're a horrible friend.
This. You might like it. Nah.
So, I literally bought.
I guarantee if he said read, I was like, no. I don't do that. I don't do that.
I even bought him comics. I think I started with Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. that's
I know usually... you fucking didn't, because that motherfucker never would have started reading that thing.
No, I did. I bought it for him.
I did.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
The first time he gave it to you.
Yeah.
Like it didn't take you.
It was the very first comic, and I read it.
I think
and
this was like after this was after 2000. I think I was with Maggie when I bought you that.
All right,
I'm not sure.
You read.
I don't remember yesterday, so I definitely don't remember reading any of this. He gave me Preacher too. I know I read Preacher.
All right. So when you read it, you weren't into comics right away?
No, I'm like you. I want to watch a movie.
No, wait a minute. So you read Time Magazine's top 10 comic that he gave you.
Yeah, but that was...
You did not read other comics after that?
That was back when I was less sophisticated. we're all older now. You should be able to appreciate that stuff now.
The key point that I think Rob is missing is the fact
purposely.
Steve read it. So whether it sucked him in or not is fine, but at least he gave it a fair shake. He read the whole thing.
I remember reading it, and I was like,
"Let me do my my Peacemaker intro." When they flip them off real quick, I love it.
I do remember asking Sean, I was like, "Why is Batman old or something?" I don't have many.
That's what he got out of that whole comic.
That's all I got, dude. I can't rember shit.
Hey man, you got farther than me.
No, I do remember vaguely. I don't know if he ever actually read them back then, but he told me he did, and he said he liked it, and that's about as far as it went.
And it took him 20 years later to appreciate it.
Yeah, I wasn't a reader. Not until I got older I started reading more.
But yeah, I thought Dark
Even
Knight
though
Returns
I had pictures, I still was like, no, give me a movie. I want to watch a movie.
I still wouldn't consider you a reader, but
what are you talking about?
You're reading
saying comics aren't. That's not good reading.
Not reading.
What do you want me to read? The Washington Post,
War and Peace.
You want me to read what's going on with Trump?
No,
I don't recommend that.
I don't even care.
Depressing.
Some of these comics are quite. I think they're written very well. Some
and yes, not all, but there's a lot. It's like any creative medium. There's a ton of bad movies and a few good movies. It's same thing with comics. There's a lot of material to get through. And I hope that since I'm curating it to some extent, even though I'm not necessarily keeping everything like super top shelf, because some of it is just about exposing you to different characters. Green Lantern.
Still waiting on the Flash, huh, Steve?
Oh, next week's the Flash for sure.
Well, he doesn't really have to expose me to that because I've already read it all.
And he's disappointed.
So
I'm starting the New 52 soon.
When do I get to pick a movie?
I don't know.
Yeah,
what would be your first pick?
Oh, I got something, baby, for you.
What is it? I want to hear this.
I just want to see what kind of shit you're going to put me through first.
Oh, it's just the Wolverine.
I already got one. I
Is it like in the realm of comic books?
No.
Are you going to make us watch Casablanca?
Oh shit! No. It wasn't going to be Casablanca. That's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Hence my concern.
Yep.
I've never seen Casablanca, but
there you go. Play it again, Sam.
I've derailed. What was I going to say?
I don't know. I want to know the Rob movie.
I do want to know the Rob movie, but if he's not going to tell us.
When I get to pick, I'm going to pick it.
Yeah. Well, he's only going to let you pick once he finds out if this movie is worthy or not.
I know. That's why I'm not going to fucking.
Well, so you may as well say it. Then it gets bumped up.
Nope.
Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm actually, now that we're doing movies and comics, I'm actually kind of thinking about things ahead of time, and I'm trying to tie the comic into the movie.
Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck.
So
wait. I think our listeners give a fuck.
They might give a fuck.
Wolverine movie, Wolverine comic.
Yes, and we can contrast and compare after you read after you watch the movie, and then we read the comic. You'll have a basis of comparison. And I'm not saying it's going to be like that every single time, but I think it'll be kind of fun, especially if it's something you've never, if it's a movie you've never seen or, comic we've never read or something. I'm trying to.
Well, you can't do it every time because the reveal of what you give us is part of the fun. So if we know, well, I care.
Is it?
You said I'm predictable.
Is it part of the
fun? Why does it
matter? Is it part of the fun?
Well, I just know for talking to him throughout the week, like I know what he's been doing. So I'm like, if you're going to spend all that time, obviously it's going on the podcast.
I picture Sean in his Hugh
underwear
Hefner
fighting.
Robe. No, his Hugh Hefner robe and slippers every day, like reading comics and watching movies.
I got back to writing my book today, so I'm back on that grind.
Nice, dude.
and it's really fun to write. I think you guys should start writing.
I will never start writing.
Okay, well,
if I do write, it's going to be a whatchamacallit, a script.
Yeah, well, do
that's
that.
writing.
Start writing that.
Write a screenplay.
Do it up. I encourage it. I encourage it for everyone, not just you guys.
I don't have enough time. I got these stupid goddamn podcasts to do.
So time consuming.
I don't have enough vocabulary. It'd be like, Steve goes to store.
Thesaurus.
Steve watches movie.
And dude, that's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. That's Fast and the Furious right there, bro. Just right there you go. Like, it doesn't have to be anything. Right, just right.
Just come out with some great cars in space.
Car crashes into dinosaur. Dinosaur farts. Japan disappears.
Steve fell asleep masturbating.
Steve, one word.
Again.
One word for you. Family.
That's
all you got to put. They made a whole movie out of it.
God damn, this last one was so fucking ridiculous, dude. They have to get over this suspension bridge, and the bridge is falling. It's cut, but somehow he jumps over the car, and the car gets stuck on the falling suspension bridge. Somehow it gets entangled, and then the thing swings them to the other side of the cliff. Swings the car to the other side of the cliff.
Yeah,
like, you have to watch these. They're so bad. They're good. You gotta watch that.
I just have no interest in that. Like, I like story and characters too much to just.
No, he timed that. He timed that. He knew he was going to. They cut the bridge on purpose or something. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to jump off in my car and I'm going to get stuck in that bridge. And that's going to catapult me to the other side of the cliff.
Boom. I would rather watch Seinfeld for the millionth time than watch.
And then he lands on the other side. He's like, family.
Family.
Hey, man, I was, I don't know. Do you guys pay for YouTube?
No.
I listen to music a lot on YouTube, like live concerts and stuff like that, and some songs. And the other day, it never happened before, but I was listening to a song. In the middle of the song, normally there's an ad before. In the middle of the song, they did an ad. I'm like, oh hell no! I was like, am I gonna have to start paying for YouTube?
So
why don't you use like Spotify or Amazon Prime?
Well, because I like watching the videos of it.
Oh, you're talking about like at home. I thought you were talking about like at work.
No. I'll just like what was I watching the other day? Some old ELO video or something. Last Train to London or something like that. And I'm in the middle of it, and all of a sudden an ad pops up. I'm like, what the fuck? That's where I draw the line. Like, I'll watch an ad before, fine.
I get ads in the middle of videos all the time.
And I never had one in the middle of a song. I was like, you motherfuckers.
Okay. So is there something, a guy at work, he's a lot younger. He's like 20 something. He was showing me something on Snapchat. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, there literally was a commercial, like a 5-second commercial. There was at least 35-second commercial. Like they'd show, it was a video of some guy like trying to get unstuck in the snow. I literally watched 35-second commercials. It would go for like 10 seconds commercial. It was a quick commercial. And then they show the video some more. And then 5 seconds. It was like ridiculous, man.
Dude, they started doing that on Facebook.
I don't even give a fuck. I forgot what the fuck I was watching because of all these bloody commercials, man.
Dude, they'll do that on Facebook. Like a video start going and then they'll start an ad. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to finish the video anymore.
I can't do it.
I skip past it.
So the YouTube thing, though, you should be able to sign up for like 3 months of free premium YouTube, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. You don't have commercials. You can, if this is desirable, if you use YouTube just for music, you can actually like close your phone or put your phone to sleep, and it'll still play the music and stuff if you're subscribed.
Yeah.
And then there's 0 commercials. I had that for 3 months, but it's like, I don't know, like $16 a month, literally just to get rid of commercials. I'm like, I'll just do the commercials, I guess, because that's.
I guess I'm going to have to do an ad because I don't want 16 either. Like if it was 7, 7, I can deal with.
That's
7.
what I mean. I was like, dude, it's like yeah, like $5 to $7 tops.
Yeah.
But for free, it was great, and it was 3 months. And it was fantastic, not getting any commercials. But yeah, I was like $16. It was some crazy price where I'm like, I have to pay that much for fucking Netflix. And if I don't pay that much, I get no Netflix. Whereas if I don't pay that much to YouTube, I still get all of YouTube. So that's not a value to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just not quite the same now, is it?
Well, it only happened one time, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing it, but I don't know. I can't pay 16. I guess I'll just have to keep watching ads because I enjoy like I'll come up here and I'll watch. I'll grab a couple beers and just like watch a concert or something. And I love doing that, but if they're gonna start putting ads in the middle of my shit, like fuck that.
Hey, when is your guys' Tool concert?
February.
Oh, next
first weekend of February.
Oh wow, mine's not till like the end of March. 4th.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Hey, are you driving?
If you want me to, I don't care.
Yeah. My truck isn't very. It barely makes it on the highway.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Nobody wants to hear about our travel plans, so we'll be back next week.
Can I drink and drive?
Wolverine.
Oh, I can drive.
All right, we're leaving.